Thank you so much for sharing this massive stack of 2026 market reports with us. We are doing a deep dive into the global electric vehicle landscape today just for you.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of data to get through.
It really is. Our mission is to cut through the industrial jargon and reveal how Europe and India are fighting the exact same climate battle, but, using wildly opposite playbooks. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right, because the strategies are just, well, they're night and day.
Exactly. I mean, did you know that India's EV revolution isn't being led by Tesla? Instead, it's being driven by three-wheeled commercial rickshaws and a sub 15,000 euro compact SUV called the Tata Punch EV.
Which is wild, right?
Yeah.
But to understand why their vehicles look so fundamentally different, we have to look at the unique geographical and economic constraints driving both regions.
Yeah, it's like retrofitting a luxury mansion versus, leapfrogging to build a highly efficient smart city from scratch.
That is a great analogy. Europe is leaning heavily into software-defined cars, which essentially turn the vehicle into a rolling computer.
Right. So Europe's strategy is like upgrading a high-end smartphone. They are swapping the gas engine for a massive battery, but keeping all the luxury features and computing power.
Yeah, and the Tesla Model Y, holding a massive 95% market share in Norway, fits that model perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. But India isn't building luxury smartphones. They are leapfrogging the old model to build a public transit network of cheap, swappable batteries.
Right, prioritizing commercial micromobility over private luxury. What's fascinating here is how perfectly the local policies match those ground realities.
Oh, you mean like Europe relying on top-down Green Deal mandates?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all know about the 2035 ban on new combustion engines. But the real story is the friction that mandate is causing against cheaper imports.
While India takes a totally different supply-side approach with their Make in India production-linked incentive, or PLI.
Right. Rather than just offering upfront tax discounts, the PLI subsidizes actual manufacturing output. By directly rewarding production volume, they've skyrocketed their domestic EV industry 14-fold since 2020.
Wait, 14-fold? Okay, making the cars locally is great, but isn't this putting the cart before the horse?
How do you mean?
Well, India's urban power grid is historically fragile and already stretched to the limit. If you plug in a million Tata Punch EVs at 6 p.m., I mean, the grid collapses.
Oh, right. Well, they often bypass traditional charging entirely to solve that.
Wait, really? They just bypass it.
Yeah. For their commercial fleets and rickshaws, India is betting heavily on battery swapping. Instead of plugging a vehicle in and pulling from the grid during peak hours, drivers just pull up to a kiosk.
Oh, and swap a depleted battery for a fully charged one in minutes?
Exactly. The kiosks charge the spare batteries slowly during off-peak hours, which completely removes that massive peak stress from the local power grid.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Battery swapping solves the grid issue, but it creates a massive new problem.
Yeah, the surplus.
Right. It requires millions of extra batteries just sitting in kiosks waiting to be used. And that exposes both India and Europe to the same giant vulnerability. China currently controls 80% of the global battery supply chain.
80% is staggering.
Yeah.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that monopoly is forcing both regions to get incredibly creative with their trade laws to fight back.
Like France pioneering that policy of selective protectionism.
Yes. Instead of just slapping a traditional tariff on Chinese EVs, they started linking their domestic car subsidies directly to the carbon footprint of how the car was manufactured.
So they look at the energy mix of the factory where the car was built.
Right.
And since a lot of imported manufacturing relies on coal-heavy power grids, those cars have a high carbon footprint, which legally disqualifies them from European subsidies without technically violating global trade rules.
Clever. It's very smart. Technologically, both regions are also racing toward post-lithium innovation to break that supply chain dominance.
Right, like heavily investing in sodium-ion batteries, which use salt rather than rare earth metals, making the raw materials cheap and abundant.
Exactly, and they are diversifying their heavy-duty fuels entirely.
Yeah, the reports show Europe keeping the door open for e-fuels, essentially synthesizing liquid fuel from captured carbon dioxide and renewable energy.
Mostly to power their legacy luxury cars, right?
Right. But India is taking a different route with green hydrogen.
Yeah. India is taking its massive surplus of midday solar power, energy that would otherwise go to waste because the grid can't store it, and using it to split water into green hydrogen.
Wow.
This creates a highly dense, storable fuel perfectly suited for their heavy transport and trucking sector. This raises an important question, though.
Okay, what's that?
With two completely different strategies, how do we actually measure who is winning this transition? The ultimate metric of success isn't raw sales volume.
Right, it's about achieving price parity with gas cars entirely without government aid.
Exactly, and they are hitting that milestone at different speeds. Europe is reaching parity in the luxury segments right now, while India targets mass market parity by 2028 or 2030.
So what does this all mean for you, listening at home? It means the future of mobility isn't going to be a single, uniform, global standard. It's a localized fight that will dictate global economics for decades.
It really is.
Think about this. If post-lithium technology, like sodium batteries, relies on materials that are found literally everywhere on Earth, will the very concept of an energy superpower completely vanish in our lifetime?
Now that is something to mull over.
Definitely. Thank you again for providing such incredibly useful information and taking this deep dive with us today.